Alrighty, y'all. What's going on, guys? Welcome back here to another live stream, my friends. We're going to do some coverage here this evening. Hope everyone is doing good. It is good to have y'all back here. So, we got ourselves a continuation of a little bit more severe weather today. We got ourselves some big damaging wind gusts yet again today, as well as some hail. Not really much of a tornado threat, thankfully, but we definitely do need to keep an eye on the other stuff overall. But what's up, everybody? Good to see you all. Let's see who we got here today. We have Mark. Good to see you, Mark. What's up, Teresa, Hockey, Fish? We have Ponderosa. We have Abby. Let's see here. Sabish. Let's see, Misty. Let's see here, Mayra. Or is it, yeah, I think it's Mayra, right? Tell me if I'm saying that wrong. What's up, Matt? Good to see you, man. But I hope everyone's doing good. Of course, everybody else who is not here but still chatting. Hope you guys are, or hold on, let me try to rephrase that. Of course, everybody who's here and not chatting, good to see you guys as well. So we do have a little bit of severe weather, kicking off right now. Right now, a lot of the activity is across areas of Montana, Wyoming. We have a little bit of activity up in North Dakota, a little bit of South Dakota here, and quite a bit of storms out here by Nebraska here as well. Kind of a bunch of just scattered severe storms here. Now, the convective outlook for today, we do have a pretty big slight risk here, extending, through a lot of the plains and out there towards the Rockies here, once again, including a lot of Montana here, cutting through Wyoming into Nebraska and western Iowa here. Now, it's probably not going to be as crazy as it was yesterday, but, still, once again, we do have a pretty big threat here overall. Now, in terms of damaging winds, we do have two areas of hatch risk winds here. One region in southwestern Nebraska, another region up here in northeastern Colorado. And then, of course, we do have this other area here for Wyoming, which covers a lot of the central and eastern sides of the state here overall. So, so we'll definitely have to keep it out there for that. There definitely could be some gusty winds, once again, possibly upwards of 80 miles an hour, so given that hatch risk area. So we're definitely going to need to look out there for that. Anyways, what's up, Sharon? Good to see you. Saying hello. Let's see here. John says clouds got darker in Chicago and it dissipated. Did it try to rain? Well, I mean, Chicago does have a little bit of a thunderstorm risk, just outside of the main marginal. You know what you saw? You saw a little bit of a boundary here. This is either I think it's a gust front that came from maybe an earlier storm. It did look like there was a little bit of precipitation out there, but yeah, we did have a little bit of a boundary here. I think pretty sure it's a gust front. So I'm pretty sure that's what's going on out there. let's see here. Can I put on the glass? I don't even know where I put my glasses, honestly. What's up, Ghosted? Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, hopping back over here to the risk area. So we do have ourselves a significant hail risk here as well for northern Wyoming and southeastern, south central Montana here overall. So we're definitely going to keep it out there for that. We could definitely see some pretty large hail out here. This is where that main hail risk is. We do have a 5% that does extend into the central plains here as well. But, you know, by far the biggest concern for hail is going to be across those areas out here. Now, we do have a couple watches in effect currently. You can see a bunch of just scattered storms going on here right now. And we do have a few of them that are warned here for 60-mile-an-hour winds and actually ping-pong ball hail out here in Montana. This includes, let's see here. We'll go ahead and take a look and see where this includes. Let me see. Locations back include mainly rural areas of southwestern Golden Valley and northeastern Sweetgrass counties. So yeah, I don't really see any towns or anything like that in here. So a lot of these are pretty rural, which is good. Definitely is good. Got a handful of storms in southeastern Montana too. These ones are actually, wow, 2.5 inch hail on this one here. This is mainly rural areas of southeastern Custer County here. So, but yeah, this one does have 2.5 inch hail, which is tennis ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts here. That's certainly pretty crazy. You know, definitely tennis ball hail. That's a little bit of a problem, but thankfully those are in rural areas. So we're gonna way over here down to let's see, Wyoming. We do have another warning out here, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-sized hail. This includes Lasite, maybe? Lasite here. Let's see. Ghosted says, I was so grateful for the cloud cover this afternoon. Helped cool things off a little. Yeah, that's definitely for sure. You know, we actually had a little bit of rain over here in Polk County, which was pretty nice. Definitely cooled things down a little bit too. Here, let me actually show you all this real quickly. This is from my weather station here, my Mesonet that I have. Let me hop you all over here. So this was for today. Look at that big drop in temperatures. Now this is humidity on the right hand panel. Temperatures are on the left side here. Let me zoom out just a tad so you guys can see that data. Yeah, but look at that. Temperatures have absolutely tanked. Yeah, look at that. We went from temperatures of around 100 degrees and it tanked when we got that storm down to like lower 80s, and you can see after the storm it kind of went back up a little bit, but now it's, you know, continuing the the decline as the sun's going down. Yeah, typically it's just a big arch that you see, and you can see the big gap where that storm was, knocked it well below further, really low below the main normal arc it would have been. If there was no storm, the arc would have probably done something like this. So, but yeah, that storm really did knock it down for a little bit. Pretty cool. Anyways, I figured I'd share that. Not that a lot of you guys would probably care, but I just thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, no, we definitely did get some cool, cool air from those thunderstorms, and they'll do that. They'll really cool it down. Absolutely. What's up, Josh's? Good to see you, my friend. But anyway, so we actually do have a bit of a flooding concern too today, y'all. We do have ourselves a flood watch in effect here for central and western Iowa and eastern Nebraska here. Now, looking at our flooding threat here for today, we do have a pretty big level 2 threat overall for flooding. This does include a lot of the central plains, portions of the Midwest here as well, like South Dakota, Nebraska, a little bit of Kansas, Colorado, Wyoming, southern Minnesota, a lot of Iowa here, northern Missouri. Then we have another little level 2 down here in New Mexico as well. And then we just got a little level, or a decent sized level 1 risk out here, which, the green area gives at least a 5% chance probability for flooding, while the yellow area gives at least a 15% chance here. So, that's kind of what we're looking at, regarding the flooding threat. Now, tomorrow, we got ourselves another level 2, actually 2 level 2s. The flooding risk will go eastward into areas like Illinois and Wisconsin, a little bit of Indiana and Michigan here. Yeah, a little bit of Michigan there. And then, of course, going into day 3, we got ourselves a flooding threat across the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast here. Actually, a pretty decent level 2, which is at least a 15% chance probability of flooding here. So, definitely is pretty, pretty decent in terms of flooding. Now, the tropics, they've been blowing up lately. We actually have 2 tropical systems right now. We have Kelly and what's the other one here? Iona, I think it is. Iona, maybe. Yeah, Iona is actually a let's see here, category 3 right now. Maximum sustained winds of 127, with gusts up to 155 currently. This thing is quite the beast. I don't think the radars can remotely get out there. So there's nothing on the radar. But if we take a look at the satellite view, though, it's actually pretty crazy. If we go to west here, go full disk. Let's see here. Yep, so there you go. There's that view. This was at 14 UTC. So this was, or hold on a minute. This is definitely outdated here. It's a little bit outdated. Here, let me see if I can find a better satellite imagery of that. Yeah, one that's actually updated. Yeah, that one's a little bit off. Well, let's see. We'll go to goes west. Here we go. Maybe we'll do a meso floater. Do they have it? They do not. Here, let's hop y'all over here for a minute. So we'll go goes west, and probably just have to stay on the full disk, right? Wait, hold on. Oh, wow. This is all cut off. Why is there really no... Is there really no option? Well, then that's something. Well, you can kind of see it there. Just a little bit. Let's see. There's your water vapor view. Well, there's the storm. I wish I could zoom on a little bit more, but yeah. Unfortunately, this is a little bit behind in timing here. But anyways, yeah, no, that storm is really kicking, though. This thing is currently a Category 3. Central low is down to 957 millibars here. We actually have another area here of potential development here just east of that. So we really just kind of have 3 systems over here. And then we have another 2 on top of it here in the far eastern Pacific. So, the Pacific Ocean is really cranking out storms right now. The Atlantic currently, we don't have any area of invest currently. But I will bring you guys to models here. So let's take a peek at those. We'll see what's going on out there model-wise. So GFS, does show we do have a little bit of a wave that's gone off of Africa here. This thing is working its way over to the west, and GFS really doesn't have much happening with it. There is a couple lows that'll be going off the U.S. East Coast here for early August. So, we'll keep it out there for that, but probably wouldn't be anything, super significant. But, at least from what GFS kind of suggests, within the next reasonable time frame, not a whole lot. Euro, on the other hand, kind of the same thing. And obviously you don't want to go too far down in time because, the further you go out, the more inaccurate things do become. But, yeah, Euro's pretty calm on the Atlantic too. But, honestly, it's fairly typical. It's really not until like August and September whenever the big stuff really starts to happen. Of course, hurricane season starts June 1st, which extends through November 30th, I believe, in which basically, that's whenever the window is for the main tropical activity. But the peak of it is the peak of it there is going to be for mostly August, climbing up August, going through September, which is peak, and then going through October is, the 3 main months here, August, September, October. So, but yeah, nothing really going on here in the Atlantic, really. I mean, we're looking pretty good so far, not a whole lot. Like I mentioned, we do have a little bit of a low out here, which, all the models do definitely pick up on. But it looks like, here, let's take a look at the moisture. It kind of looks like it might run into a little bit of drier air, but, there still appears to be a bit of moisture. Let's check wind shear. Let's do 200 to 850 millibars. Yeah, it'll probably run into a little bit of wind shear. it just really doesn't catch, though, from what the models are suggesting. So that's good. That's definitely good. So, but yeah, bottom line is that the Atlantic, we look pretty good right now. All right, so let's hop on back over here. So, monitoring a couple storms in southern or southeastern South Dakota. We got ourselves a severe warning here for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This includes Mitchell, Wagner. Let's see here, Delmont, Dante, I think it is, until 6:50 p.m. Let's see here, Parkston, Ethan, and Demock, I think it is, around 6:55. So that's what we're looking at there. Now on the backside, the winds have actually been observed here. Let's see here, 6 miles west of Plankinton. I think that's how you say that. Reported a wind gust of 60 miles an hour at 6:20 p.m. Central. So that'd be 7:20 Eastern. So that's about 27 minutes ago. That storm's out there by Lake Andes right now, including Lake Stickney. Let's see here, Plankinton. I think that's how you say that. Once again, this is in southeastern South Dakota here. Taking a peek up at North Dakota. Got a few little pop-up storms here. Got a severe warning for 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter hail up here by Hazen. Got a little bit of lightning activity on this guy here, too. Once again, good news is that we're not really expecting any tornadic activity today. SPC on the tornado risk, every area is less than, every area is less than 2%, which is certainly good, Definitely don't want any tornadic activity. But like I mentioned, we shouldn't let our guard down today because, we do have a pretty big wind threat. Both of these areas here in the dashed region, this is our hatch risk. This is actually where we could see, some real excessive wind, once again, upwards of maybe 80 miles an hour. So definitely big potential overall with some of these gusts here. So we'll definitely keep an eye on it. Activity should grow upscale through the late evening with the potential of a few significant 75 or greater mile-an-hour wind gusts here. This is from the Storm Prediction Center, by the way. We definitely do got to look out there for a lot of that. Good to see you, Scott. Hope you're doing good, my friend. What's up, Sydney? St. Andrew, what's up? Good to see you. Also, we do have a little bit of a level 1 wind risk out here in actually Oregon and northern Nevada here. Now, hail-wise, we do have ourselves a hatch risk here as well. This is for a lot of southeastern Montana, including the Billings area, so we'll have to keep an eye out there for a couple storms rolling through. We do have a handful of severe warnings out here. A lot of these are for rural areas, thankfully. But this does cover a lot of the state here. A lot of south central, southeastern Montana, which does extend into north central, northeastern Wyoming here. With that hatch risk alone here, this is where we certainly could see some pretty large hail here. Potentially 2 inches in diameter and larger potentially. So. Some big hail, some big winds today. Once again, no tornadoes, thankfully, is on the table. So I do want to take a minute to look here at, let's see here. Let's go ahead and bring up our Mesoanalysis. I'm really curious to see what we got going on out here. So if you don't know what Mesoanalysis is, it's basically a way for me to look at kind of the parameters here, kind of see what we got going on more in depth here. So we do have, that line of storms kind of popping through Nebraska, going up here into southeastern Kansas, grabbing a little bit of a view here. Looks like we have a pretty solid amount of instability, almost 3,000 joules per kilogram. Photographs look pretty linear. Yeah, our lower level kinematics are actually pretty darn weak. We're about 5 knots, between 0 and 3 kilometers. So we're definitely on lower levels. Pretty weak. Now, mid-levels, though, mid-upper levels, we're pretty decent. Between 3 and 200 millibar height, we are between 75 and 85. Sorry, 85. For a second, I thought that was 4 little lines there. But no, that's 85 knots up there by 200 millibar height. So, that could lead to some decent decent organization in some of those storms here. Like I said, the lower levels, though, not really the best. Got a little bit of a curvy hodo here, but remember, the wind shear is very weak. I mean, there definitely is some veering in that little, pocket, but yeah, winds just appear too weak to really do anything like that. Let's see here. Effective storm relative helicity is 108, which is fairly low. But, generally speaking, I don't think we're going to have anything tornadic-wise to worry about today, which is good. And say if we even did, the regions are actually less than 2% overall, for all the areas here across the states, which is good. But even, say, worst-case scenario we did, it would likely remain very weak and relatively brief, too. Holy cow, dude. Look at all this instability out here. Yeah, central and eastern Nebraska and going into, like, western and southern Iowa, we have instability of, like, 5,500 to 6,000 joules per kilogram. Whoa. Whoa, buddy. Look at that, man. Look at all that cape. I mean, that goes up high, too. So these things, if we even had any convection in this environment here, which does happen, those are probably going to be pretty darn tall top storms. Like, storm height of those things are going to be probably pretty darn massive. Let's see here. But yeah, honestly, that is a lot of fuel. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, thankfully we don't have the kinematics for it though to really make things aggressive. All right, so let's see. We got a little guy up here in northeastern Colorado. This is a severe warning out there south of Amherst, east of Holyoke, I think it is. Let's see here. This includes Pleasant Valley, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-dollar-sized hail, moving north at 20 miles an hour. Yeah, we do have quite a bit of convection out there towards the Denver area. Got a few little outflow boundaries popping through, too. Little gust fronts. Am I going to be live tomorrow for Pennsylvania? As of now, tomorrow is just a marginal risk here. Which, I mean, marginal risks don't really need full-time coverage usually. You can see it tomorrow. I mean, we do have a pretty good-sized marginal. If it goes slight and the risk increases, we'll probably go live. But as of now, I mean, it remains a fairly widespread low threat tomorrow. Which, I mean, you can see we do have, kind of two areas of concern tomorrow. The first region up there by the Rockies, then the second region through the Midwest into the Ohio Valley, up into the Mid-Atlantic Northeast here. But as of now, I don't think we'll need coverage. There is no tornado threat tomorrow either as of now. Just a little 5% wind risk and a 5% hail risk here. So I don't think it'll be needed as of now. Then day 3... there's actually no risk at all for severe weather. This is just a big thunderstorm threat. But it does, continue, it does extend from northwestern United States down, or the Pacific Northwest, into the southeast. So, yeah, we'll, we're not really seeing anything super crazy for day 3, which day 3, since today's Tuesday, day 3 will be Thursday. So Thursday looks pretty chill. But yeah, no, today that we're covered is this big old slight risk that we do have here. There's just a bunch of scattered storms really popping through. It appears all of these warnings are for 60 miles per hour. However, the hail does range quite a bit. The biggest hail that I see here is, I believe, $half-dollar-sized hail. Oh, never mind. No, this one's 2-inch hail. Oh, that's the new warning they actually just issued here. Here, let's take a look at that real quickly. So this is for southeastern Montana. Here's a new warning. 2-inch hail apparently observed, too, on it. 60-mile-per-hour winds. Let's see here. Public reported at 5:48 p.m. golf ball-size hail was reported 18 miles south-southwest of Mizpah. Storm has a history of producing hail greater than 2 inches in diameter here. People and animals outdoor will be injured. Yeah, so bring in your pets if you're in the warning. This includes Powderville. Seems pretty rural for the most part, but yeah, Powderville is included here. Which is Powderville? Powderville doesn't even look like a big place, to be honest with you. 6 Mile Crossing. Yeah, it seems mostly rural, which is certainly good, but still definitely pretty big. Yeah, that is observed though. 2-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds out there. A lot of these other guys are for mostly 60-mile-an-hour winds and in quarter hail. All right, hopping over here to southeastern South Dakota. We do have a little bit of storm activity rolling through. We got a 60-mile-an-hour wind warning up here. So severe thunderstorm warning with 60-mile-per-hour winds that has been observed. Also here for penny-sized hail. Let's see here. ASAW station reported a wind gust of 63 miles per hour. So that is within the damaging realm. Like I said, for it to be classified as severe winds, it has to be 58 miles an hour or more. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like some pockets of some pretty gusty winds, but this is also scanning, you know, at this layer of the atmosphere. This is 5,500 feet right here. And this goes up to 8,000 feet over back here. So, you know, it's because of the angle of the radar beam. That is the 0.5 degree tilt. What's up, SPC? Good to see you, my friend. What's up, Jim? Good to see you as well. By the way, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. We're here for you. Here, let's look at the future models here real quickly. I want to take a look at the... let's see, we got 23... we'll have to go to the 22 UTC GFS, or sorry, HRRR. So let's take a look at that. So it looks like that storm... storm activity is going to be increasing here over the next several hours. It is almost 0 UTC right now. It's 23:59. So once we hit 0 UTC going into the overnight hours, it looks like we're going to start to get some more convection popping through. Let's see here. So this is right around 7, 8, 9... 10 central, and then midnight here. Let's see, 05 is midnight central. 04 would be 11 p.m. Then 10, then 9, then 8, then 7, then 6. So anywhere between 6 and 7 p.m. here, which that should be at any time. We could start to see some convection popping through here in western Iowa. Let's see. Let's take a look back over here real quickly. Over in Iowa, we're going to switch radar views. Well, there you go. You know what? There is a little bit of stuff starting to pop off out here. It's got a noodle on it too, man. Actually, you know what? No, the storms are firing off of the noodle because that's acting as a source of lift. So, yeah, there you go. Stuff's starting to increase out here. Des Moines area probably will start to see storms here very soon. Very interesting. Yep, so stuff is definitely going to start picking up here in Iowa very soon. Got a lot of convection through Nebraska, which does lead into southeastern South Dakota. A warning down here in Missouri, actually. Let's see, southeast Missouri, including Van Buren. 60-mile-an-hour winds and penny hail, which includes Van Buren and Fremont. Yeah, southeast Missouri really needs a radar. It's literally sandwiched between several different radars. You know, we have the Springfield one over here. We have St. Louis way up here. We got Paducah one over here, and then we got Little Rock one down here. So it's like we're literally in between, and we have the Memphis one here. It's like a big pentagon. Of course, this storm has to be right in the middle of them all. See 11,000 feet up there. That one's scanning. What's this scanning? 10,000, a little bit better. 19,000 feet on this one. 11,000 feet. Yeah, the best one's probably Springfield, but Springfield, it's nothing more than just a shower. Goes east. We'll do... There we go. Do US view. Let's take a look at the infrared. Play that in motion here. Any day now. There you go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at that. This stuff's really starting to convect out here. You know what? The south is kicking up pretty good, too, it looks like. A lot of just normal daytime storms. We got a severe warning up in Florida here. Let's see. This is out by... Where does this include? Leesburg, Lake Griffin, Lake Harris, Fruitville Park, and Leesburg Airport. This one is 60-mile-an-hour winds and penny-sized hail. Got a few other little pop-up showers and storms out here by... I mean, this is my county here. This is Polk County. We have a little shower on the far eastern side. Got a warning up in North Carolina, too. Up by Walnut Cove, 60-mile-an-hour winds, penny hail. Locations impacted include Walnut Cove, Pine Hall, Germantown, Meadows, and Bella's Lake. Something like that. Air quality alert. Code orange. Here, let me turn on the heat advisories and stuff. We're about to see the whole entire map get filled. Turn on the extreme heat warnings, extreme heat watches, and we'll turn on the heat advisories. There you go. Yep, still got all kinds of nasty stuff going on. First of all, let's see what's going on here. Heat index values up to 115. This is out here by me. Goodness. For the extreme heat warning. Where does that include? Huh. Yeah, dude. A lot of the South and Central Plains, Northeast is really under this right now. Got a bunch of random extreme heat warnings here popping through too. Thankfully, a lot of these guys are relatively rural, which is good. Including this big guy here. This one's public reported at 5:48 p.m. Golf ball size hail was reported 18 miles southwest of Mizpah. I think it's Mizpah, right? The storm has a history of producing hail greater than 2 inches in diameter. 115 is serious. Oh, yeah. Yeah. 115 is... It sucks. We need a tropical storm for 4 months, my friend. Thank you for that. Saying, hi, Andrew. How am I looking for tonight, please? No problem. Thanks for your support, my friend. That's greatly appreciated. There's a fly in here that's driving me nuts, by the way. All right, so today we have a general thunderstorm risk here. We do have a heat advisory in effect here. Let's see here. Which this expires now. Or hold on a minute. Wednesday. Heat index values up to 107. So, anyways, regarding activity now, we have a little bit of shower activity, you know, in the region across central, southeastern Georgia. A little bit of storm activity out by Atlanta. For you though, you look pretty good. Nothing severe. Tomorrow, same thing. You know, just normal thunderstorms. Yeah, that really persists for the next 3 days here. It's just a bunch of, you know, random normal summertime thunderstorms. So, anyways, we just got a new watch. New severe thunderstorm watch until 6 UTC. So that would be for let's see. This is 2 a.m. Eastern, 1 Central. Where'd that go for? Here, let's get rid of these advisories and stuff. There's all kinds of them. Did I get rid of the watches? The watches should still be on. That's weird. There was watches for areas like Wyoming and stuff. It must be glitching here. Let me go ahead and bring you guys over here. Yeah, no problem, Renita. Thank you. I appreciate your support, my friend. Here, I'll bring up the SPC real quickly. We'll see what they got. Yeah, they definitely didn't. I don't think they canceled those watches. Watches. Why is nothing loading? Could be an outage or something going on. SPC wise, I don't know. Well, we'll keep an eye on it. I'm sure it'll pop up at some point. Misty says, how about St. Louis, Missouri tomorrow? Let's see here. St. Louis does have a marginal risk here tomorrow. Level 1 threat. We're not in any concern for tornadoes. We do have a little bit of a wind risk here, and no hail threat. So just a little 5% wind risk out there tomorrow. So a couple strong to potentially severe storms could roll their way through, but it wouldn't likely be anything super big. So that watch includes eastern, let's see here, eastern Colorado, western South Dakota, and northwestern Nebraska. I have an image of it here. I'll show you since things aren't loading. So that's what it looks like here. You can see western Nebraska on it, eastern Colorado, and a little bit of western, not Kansas, South Dakota. So. Yeah. New watch. Yeah, hopefully soon it'll update on here. But if y'all have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Feel free to ask. We're here to help y'all. See, got Mitchell, Parkston, Wagner, Delmont. That includes 60-mile-per-hour winds out there in Penny Hail. Misty says the hail up there is big in Montana. There was 3-inch hail with that storm producing tennis ball size. Yeah, apparently this said it was 2 inches that's been reported. I don't know about 3. It does say this storm has a history of producing hail greater than 2 inches in diameter, so I don't know how big it was actually observed out there. Yeah, thankfully today we don't have much of a tornado threat, which is good. Definitely don't want any of that nastiness. Yeah, things should really start popping off here across Iowa in the next couple of hours. There's a lot of fuel out there. Tons and tons of instability. Yeah, look at that. Sheesh. That is honestly crazy, though. It's a good 5,000 or so joules per kilogram. I mean, that's like top of the scale. I've seen higher, but, 5,000 cape is ridiculous. We have 80-degree dew points out there. What? Goodness, dude. Look at that. Apparently, some of those dew points, according to ARRR, are right around 80-something degrees. That is miserable. That is miserable. Having dew points that high sucks, dude. Yeah, humidity's got to be so high there. Considering the temperature's not very far from the dew point, that increases humidity. No Braven. There is no moderate risk. We only have today's slight risk here. Goodness, dude. Yeah, I still can't get over all that instability and whatnot. So, y'all, this is what today's risk looks like. We have a pretty big level 2 threat that extends through Montana, a little bit of Wyoming here, Colorado, Nebraska, South Dakota, and Iowa. Once again, thankfully no tornadoes today, which is certainly good. We don't want any of that. We do have a hatch risk for hail today, though, for southeastern Montana and north central areas here of Wyoming. Then lastly, our wind threat. We do have 2 hatch areas here. Once again, for central eastern Wyoming, northeastern Colorado, and southwestern Nebraska. What's up, Noah? Good to see you, man. Yeah, as of right now, Nebraska is severe warn free, but we do have a lot of special weather statements here. A lot of these are pretty close to severe threshold. A lot of these are up to 50-mile-an-hour winds out there, which it's pretty close. Pretty close to severe. Yeah, you got to be 58 miles an hour or greater for it to be classified as severe. Yep, no problem, Braven. Boy, do we got a lot of warnings up in Wyoming, though. There's quite a few, man. See, Casper, we got a warning for 60-mile-an-hour winds and 1.25-inch hail, which is $half size. Got another little warning here to the south. 1.25-inch hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Let's see here. Yeah, a lot of these are, like I said, in very rural areas, so, nothing super wild. Including this big one that we have here in Montana, southeast Montana. This one is for 2-inch hail observed and 60-mile-an-hour winds, which includes Powderville. Which, where is Powderville? I know you're around here somewhere. Oh, there you are. Yeah, there's not a whole lot around, it doesn't look like. I mean, this map does overlay buildings and stuff. Was last night's storm a derecho? I don't know if it classified as a derecho. But it was a long-lived line of storms that did produce significant winds. I don't know if it's going to ever be classified. It was very similar to one. This one's 60 observed here. This includes, so this is for southeastern South Dakota, including Wagner, Parkston, and Mitchell area. Yeah, we are starting to get some pretty good storm activity out by Iowa now. Yeah, eventually this will likely start to turn severe as the night progresses. So just a little bit of a heads up to my Iowa folks out there. Like, looking at things over here in Iowa as the night goes on, things will really start to fire off quite a bit. The main jet's up there in southern Canada, northern U.S. It looks like it remains that way. So, at least decently organized severe weather would probably be pretty unlikely. Lower level. Don't want to go too far down in time. According to GFS here, we could get a little bit of a low towards the Ohio Valley, maybe kicking up some lower level winds. Let me see if there's any convection on that. Oh, no instability. Never mind. See, everything's got to line up here, If you have some ingredients but not the rest, then you'll probably not see anything perfect, but anyways. All right, y'all. Honestly, I'm probably going to call it a stream here. I don't think I'm going to cover too much more of this here. Reason is because a lot of it is rural areas. Thankfully, there's no tornado threat or anything like that. What I might do, though, is late tonight, I might go live again for a little bit just to do a little bit of an update on everything. I just don't think we're going to need too much coverage tonight here. Just given that things are, a lot less potent as they were yesterday. But that being said, though, we do still have a pretty big wind risk here. A lot of these places are relatively rural, but we do have southwestern Nebraska, northeastern Colorado, central eastern Wyoming here in that hatch risk region there. So there's that. Then in terms of hail, we do have northern areas of Wyoming and southern areas of Montana here in that risk area. So we'll look out there for that. But all right, everybody. Well, I think I'm going to roll off here for now. I appreciate y'all for joining, y'all for hanging out with us. Y'all are amazing. Greatly appreciated. But, yeah, we're going to go ahead and call it here. I'm going to go ahead and head off here and get some stuff done around here. So, we'll probably see you guys later tonight. I'm not going to, promise anything, but we're going to try to go live late tonight here for maybe a little bit of an update on everything, okay? All right, everybody. Thank you all for watching. You all have a wonderful rest of your night, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out, my friends. See ya later on.